going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we actually got the data download a day earlier than I thought. I thought this would be coming on Thursday, but it actually came today, Wednesday, Japan time. If you guys did not see my tweet or my post on the community tab on YouTube, I was able to do the translations right as they came out, because luckily it was during my lunch break, so that was pretty nice. But I want to go over just a couple of things that I noticed that maybe I didn't describe as well in my translations. None of them were like particularly wrong. I just wanted to kind of clarify on a few things, and then also kind of just go over my overall thoughts on the cards and everything, but also just what we might potentially see from these guys in terms of the banner that two of these guys come from. Three of these guys, I think three of them are from just the story mission essentially, so you can go and farm them up. That's your choice if you want them or not. But I wanted to go over a couple of things just to be safe and to make sure you guys have all the information that you need. So let's get quickly into it real quick. So first off, the big piece of information, is kind of the big surprise, is that we got an LR Bardock, who is a super physical type. He's just like Beerus, SSJ3 Goku, the Int, Bojack, the AGL, Trunks and Goten, and then I'm missing somebody else. I'll come up to the top of my head. Anyway, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. But anyway, so this guy it's kind of weird. We all thought maybe Extreme would finally get somebody, but if they follow the same route as 120% leads, then we should be expecting 5 more of these people now, because we have a total of 5, which means we're going to get 5 more, so we still have to get like the Extreme Agility, we have to get the Super Int and all that, so it should be interesting. But anyway, so Bardock is the Super types, Ki plus 4, HP attack and defense up 100%, and then Extreme types, Ki plus 2, HP attack and defense up 70%. Pretty standard stuff that we see right there in terms of that. Now, his super attack it doesn't actually seal on the 12 key. It only seals on the 18 key, and I'll get into that in a little bit down here, if you can see. So there's 18 plus key. He will get, obviously, the 30% boost if you're at a 20 level super attack 20, and he will seal it. Hisatsuwajo Fujiru, which means he's going to seal the super, obviously. If you only do your 12 key attack, he simply just gets for 1 turn an attack increase, so pretty standard stuff that we'd see from most cards these days. In terms of passive, though, his passive's kind of interesting, kind of taking a few things from like Beerus and some other cards and kind of mixing them together almost. So at the forefront, he gets his own attack and defense up 70%, which at the first glance doesn't look that impressive, right? Now I never expected this he honestly falls in line with what I expect from most LRs. I think from ever since the 90% LR, so the LR Gohan, Broly, Trunks, people like that, we're not going to be seeing some huge attack boost or anything in these next sides. They're kind of like dialing it back down a little bit. So anyway, so he gives himself attack and defense up 70%. And then at the time when he does his super attack, okay, so this is right here. If you see the kanji Cho Hisatsuwaza, which means super attack essentially, which again in translation for the game is going to be his 18 key super attack, then he will get an additional 30% attack. So Sara ni, which means like kind of like adding to it. Now I don't think it means that it like obviously stacks. So just because of the way it works is it says at the time of doing his 18 key super attack. So he doesn't have that at the beginning of the turn like he does his original 70% attack and defense. So just keep that in mind right there. And then, of course, if he's facing one opponent, he gets plus 4 key, and then if he's facing 2 or more, he gets defense up 60%. So pretty much at the beginning of the turn, if you're fighting like on, say, Super Battle Road, he will get a 70% attack increase, and then a 130% increase, 130% increase in the defense there. And then if he also gets his 18 key super attack off, then he's technically doing 100% and 103% defense right there. But I know the way that the way that the calculations are done, though, that 30% is actually pretty good. It's really calculated out to just really doing like 120 or something like that. The Reddit was doing some calculations on it or something like that. Again, I'm not going to pretend to know exactly how all that stuff works, but from the sound of it though, the 70% and then adding on top of that the 30% with the way it works because of the super attack, and he's using his 18 key super attack, because of all of that combining together, apparently it's actually a little bit more than just simply a base 100% up in the attack when he's attacking. So just keep that in mind right there. He may look a little underwhelming, but he's not bad, obviously. I mean, he's an LR, right? You pull him, you're going to keep him. So in terms of links, though, it's pretty standard stuff. The big one I was looking at, though, he does have Prepare for Battle, and he gets the Rebirth link, even though in order to get him up to the second stage, you do have to use the SSJ3 Bardock medals. But then, of course, there are also some other story missions, so I guess, I will always not really like the Rebirth link. I do know that if you are running a team that's mostly Rebirth units, though, or since a lot of these LRs do have Rebirth now, linking them together helps them get that key and everything. But the reason I personally still don't like the Rebirth link in terms of this situation, because, let's face it, not many people have all of these LRs to help link together to get that. So everyone's got a mix of Fierce Battle and Rebirth units. So if you do have more of a team that is Rebirth and everything, then that's great. But for maybe somebody who doesn't have those, or maybe you don't really keep them, you only prefer the Super Fierce Battle link, then it doesn't really help out. But that fact that he does get +4 key going against one guy is pretty nice. So that automatically gives him 10 key right there. Plus, we're going to assume that he's mostly linking with the Prepare for Battle, which is in 12 key right there. So then all you really need to do is get 6, and boom, you've got 18 right there. So unless you are, of course, linking with someone from like Bardock's team, which I'm going to assume no, but at the same time, maybe like this Sand link right here, this could also be something that's a +1, so 13 key in total. So that could be something right there for you. So overall though, Bardock, love that art, really cool. He's, I'm going to get into what banner he could potentially be on. We're not really sure, but let's go, before we do that, let's go into what the other cards are. So this Kaioken Goku, he's going to be the farmable SSR that I talked about yesterday in my other video. He is the Pure Sand category, the free-to-play one. Key +2, HP attack and defense up 30%. And then he only does extreme damage. He doesn't do supreme. He does extreme damage, but he has the typical Kaioken mechanic where every time he uses a super attack, his attack increases permanently. So until, of course, the event ends or the stage ends, essentially. And then his passive is that he gets attack up 40%. And then when your HP is 70% or below, then he gets +3 key, and then an additional attack and defense up 50% right there. So not a fan of the whole 70% and below thing. I would have preferred a 30% or above in my personal opinion, but I guess it is what it is. But hey, this at least means that all Kaioken Gokus are officially farmable in the game. If you have the agility one, the tech one, or the physical one from the World Tournament, boom, go ahead and upgrade them right there, and you're good to go. Now, based on the data download here, this means that the tech one is not getting a Dokkan Awaken, which we kind of called already, but it is what it is. So next is this cute little Goten riding his Icarus here. So he is the half Sands category, which is weird because we have that Tech Ultimate Gohan. It does pretty much the exact same leader skill if I remember correctly. So maybe it might be a key off or it might be a stat down or up. I'm not really sure because no one really uses him, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. So, but all now Kid Gohans now officially have a farmable super attack, which is pretty nice. Category Key +2, HP attack and defense up 30%, and he lowers attack every time he super attacks. His passive skill is he mitigates damage by 30%, and then every ally gets attack up 20%, which is pretty cool. So, not bad for a super int. I mean, he's basically kind of a support unit and mitigates the damage. So, hey, I'll test him out in Super Battle Road, no problem. But yeah, so that's the little Gohan there. Now, the one thing I don't know is if the story mission has any kind of category that's going to boost your rates to maybe get more and everything. We'll have to wait and see when that comes out tomorrow. So by the time you're watching this, if it's a day later, then, well, we already know the answer to that, and I'll have an update video on that right there. So, in terms of, I'm actually going to skip over the Slug real quick. I'm going to skip over him, and I'm going to go to the free-to-play one real quick, because this is the tech one. He is the Namekian category. Yes, Namekians have their own category now, and it's really weird because there's only like 9 different characters or something like that, technically, that are Namekian. And even though there are like many Piccolos, all Piccolos, like in terms of like the generalized Piccolo, like the LR Piccolo, the physical Piccolo, and things like that, they're all under the same name. So you can only take one, and most people on this category would be taking a LR Piccolo from the World Tournament, unless you're a newer player and you don't have him. So I think this officially hits the weakest of the categories now, because at least like low class tier Sans has the LR Bardock now. It has the 100% Raditz that you can get if you want to. So this guy, yeah, I guess you can kind of compare it to like the EZA Gohan, but at least Gohan himself is a pretty big badass right there. So I don't know, the category itself, and I mean at least with Gohan's category, yeah, it's not the greatest, but you have all those rainbowed Ginyu Force guys, not to mention the Tech Ginyu, who is the LR that we got, and that you can also throw LR Frieza on there. So I'm officially calling this the worst category as of right now, this recording. It could change later on, we're not really sure. But it was pretty limiting already with just simply the words Namekian. There are only 3 in existence, technically. 2 of them are kind of like offsprings or things like that, but it's basically Nail, Piccolo, King Piccolo, I think there's even a Piccolo Jr., but there's only like 1 card of that guy, and like no one ever has him really. And then Slug now. So yeah, pretty limited. So anyway, he's in the Namekian category, Key +3, HP 70%, attack and defense up 50%, and he lowers defense when he super attacks. And then he gets attack and defense up 50% for his passive, and then when his HP is 30% or below, he will then heal you up for 30%. So I think someone compared him to like Physical Boo, one of the Physical Boos, I think it's Fat Boo, that every single time you go to the you know, you get below that 30% threshold, then that activates and it goes and works there. So I don't know. I might actually test him out for Super Battle Road. I don't know. I mean, his link set's not terrible. Actually, I take that back. His link set is pretty terrible in terms of extreme tech. So I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on right there. So anyway, so of course this guy can also though be used to farm up the super attack of the physical, you know, slug here. But the thing with this guy is that you cannot, and I know most people are going to say, well, duh, Talon, but you cannot awaken this guy and then expect to farm in that farmable tech one, okay? Now, I know, most people are going to be like, come on, dude, we already know this, right? But I know someone's going to ask about it, so I figure I'd just simply say it real quick. This guy, when he Dokkan Awakens, he automatically turns into Slug, and then if you see the kanji in parentheses there, Giant. Okay, it's kind of like the Tapion situation all over again, where you can take that free-to-play Tapion and farm him into the Tech Tapion, but you cannot take that Tapion and farm him into the Agility one because it has the Hirudegan kanji on the side of it. So just be careful of that right there in case maybe something else comes out in the future and you try to farm the Super Tech that way, or you throw it into the ability, you know, whatever the case may be. Just be careful of that. I just want to note that kanji right there. So anyway, he is very similar actually to the Hirudegan. But it's not 150%. So it's basically Giants category, Ki +3, HP attack and defense up 120%, and then also extreme physical types, Ki +3, HP attack and defense up 70%. So that's nice, at least with the extreme physicals. I don't know why they made him the Giants category. Yes, I know he is technically a Giant and he has a Giant mechanic now in it, but the Giant mechanic really needs to be updated in the game. So you're not really going to see many people running this guy as the leader. Maybe on an extreme physical team, that's something we'll have to see, but I'm just saying right now, it's not really going to be noticeable. And so he's obviously not a Dokkan Fest exclusive unit, so you're going to see him in every banner now. So that's just the way it's going to be. So anyway, he greatly lowers defense with a super attack. Nothing too special there. In terms of his passive, attack and defense up 80%. And then he can, at the time he gets attacked, so this is very similar to the strength Beerus we just got actually. At the moment he's attacked, then for the next 5 turns, his own attack will then increase by an additional 50%. So it's very similar to Beerus' defensive passive, I believe. Or I think, no, Beerus gets an attack and defensive passive when he gets attacked. And then I think it's for 5 or 7 turns. This slug here is for 5 turns. He'll gain an additional 50% attack. And then he also has a Tokidoki time in order to transform up to 2 times at most, just like most giant cards. So that's the way it's going to be. So anyway, so now the big question is, will these guys be on a LR banner? Are they going to be on a double rates banner? We're not really sure. We'll be finding that out by 5 p.m. Japan time tomorrow. If I had to take a wild guess, I'm going to say a double rates banner. Otherwise, you would not have Slug in the banner right here. Or the LR itself would be someone more kind of closely related to that, right? Because if you've looked at other past LR banners, LR Trunks, LR Goku Black, the LR, heck, even the LR Bojack, because that was originally on JP first, whereas Global got a lot more of the LR banners first before they came over to JP during the year 3. The cards that were featured along with the LR potential card were kind of related to it essentially, right? Heck, even the LR Gohan banner when it came to JP had like Incel and some other units on there. Trunks had all of his other future variants of him along with a couple other cards. The Goku Black one had again Trunks, Zamasu, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and with Bardock, if you're going to have units that are kind of featured to that, you're going to, bring in things like, maybe a Frieza card, a Goku card, or anything like that. But Bardock and Slug don't mix at all together. So that's why I'm thinking that it's going to be a double rates banner. So if it's a double rates banner, spend your stones at your own will. I still think there's something coming after this, obviously, because there always is. But I am still thinking that it's going to be the 250 million download special. I did a video on that and my predictions on it. I'll do something closer to it when it comes to release, when we have a bit more information. If you want to check that video out, it'll be at the end, though. So go ahead and check that out if you want to. If it is an LR banner, I still say stay clear unless you absolutely need Bardock for some reason. I want to say you really don't. And then if you need Slug, I'm going to guess that's more of like sentimental and you want Slug because you want him and you like him. Not necessarily because you wouldn't need him for his category or anything, because no one's going to be running that category. I'm telling you right now, if you are going for Slug thinking that you're going to be able to run a Giants category because you do not have Tapion, you're mistaken. Because of the way the friend system is right now, you're not going to be able to do it. So I'm just letting you guys know right now, be careful, be cautious. I'm skipping these. Personally, I did it with the Beerus one and everything like that, so this is a big skip for me. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, as always, in terms of the Bardock and the Slug. Are you going to go for them? Are you going to skip them? No matter what the banners are, let me know down in the comments below. I'll put a poll up in the video, as always. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Until next time, everyone, I'll see you all in the next one.